Every day, you work harder to grow your business. You improve your product, you redesign your website, you lower your prices, you learn new marketing strategies, yet your business still isn't growing. Why? Because you're solving a problem you don't actually have. And you're not alone. Most struggling businesses aren't failing because they have a bad product. They're failing because one critical part of the business is broken. The good news is that almost every business problem can be traced back to one of just 3 places. If you can identify which one is holding you back, you'll know exactly what to fix, and you'll stop wasting time and money fixing the wrong thing. Before you fix anything, you need to answer one simple question. Where are people disappearing? Think about how every customer becomes a customer. First, they have to discover your business. Then, they have to trust you. Finally, they have to believe your product or service is worth buying today. If people disappear at any one of those 3 stages, your business stops growing. So, let's start with the first one.
Imagine you own a restaurant that serves the best food in town. Every customer who eats there promises to come back. They recommend it to friends. The reviews are outstanding. The problem? The restaurant is hidden on a quiet street that almost nobody drives past. Every day, the owner spends hours perfecting recipes, changing the menu, and buying better kitchen equipment. But none of those things solve the real problem. You can't sell to people who don't even know you exist. The exact same thing happens online. Maybe you've built an amazing product. Maybe your service gets incredible results. Maybe your prices are even lower than your competitors. But if your ideal customers never see your business, none of that matters. You don't have a product problem, you have a distribution problem. And that's the first problem: distribution.
So, how do you know if distribution is your biggest problem? Ask yourself 3 questions. Are enough new people discovering my business every week? Am I consistently reaching my ideal customer? If I disappeared tomorrow, would anyone new even notice? If your answer to those questions is no, then improving your product isn't your priority. Your priority is getting your business in front of more qualified people. Here are 5 things you can do this week. First, find out where your ideal customers already spend their time, instead of trying to attract everyone. Second, create content that solves one painful problem they search for every day. Third, partner with another business that already serves the same audience. Fourth, ask every happy customer for one referral, instead of hoping they'll recommend you. And finally, choose one marketing channel and become consistent before jumping to another one. But what if people are already finding your business? They're visiting your website, they're sending you messages, they're booking calls, yet they still don't buy. Then your problem isn't distribution. It's something completely different. Now, let's say your business doesn't have a visibility problem. People are discovering you. They're visiting your website, they're sending inquiries, they're booking appointments, they're even asking for your prices. But then, nothing. They say, "I'll think about it. Let me discuss it with my partner. I'll get back to you." And somehow, they never do. If that sounds familiar, your problem isn't that people can't find your business. It's that they don't trust it enough to buy. Imagine you're looking for a contractor to renovate your house. You contact 2 companies. The first responds with a 1-line message. "We can do it. It'll cost $5,000. The second sends you photos of similar projects, explains exactly how the work will be done, shares testimonials from happy clients, and answers the questions you haven't even asked yet. Both companies charge the same price. Which one would you trust? Most people choose the second company, not because they're cheaper, not because they're necessarily better, but because they've reduced uncertainty. Every purchase involves risk. Your customers are asking themselves questions they may never say out loud. Can I trust this business? Will this actually solve my problem? What if I waste my money? What if it doesn't work? If your business doesn't answer those questions, people delay the decision. And in business, delayed decisions usually become lost sales. And that is the second problem: lack of trust. So, how do you know if trust is your biggest problem? Ask yourself these questions. Do people frequently ask for your price but rarely buy? Do you hear, "I'll think about it," more often than "let's do it"? Are you getting inquiries but very few paying customers? If that's happening consistently, your biggest problem probably isn't traffic, it's trust. Only now do we name it. Again, avoid vague advice. Here's how you start fixing it. First, show proof instead of making promises. Testimonials, case studies, before and after results, and customer stories build confidence far better than saying you're the best. Second, explain your process. People trust businesses that make the unknown feel predictable. Third, answer objections before customers ask them. If people always worry about price, time, or results, address those concerns up front. Fourth, simplify, not reduce your offer. Confused customers rarely become paying customers. And finally, remember that people don't buy when they're convinced. They buy when they're comfortable. But what if people trust you? They believe you're credible, they believe you can deliver, they can even afford your product, and they still don't buy. Then your problem isn't visibility. It isn't trust. It's the thing most business owners almost never question: the offer itself. Let's say you've solved the first two problems. People know your business exists, they trust you, they believe you can deliver exactly what you promise, but they still don't buy. At this point, most business owners make one expensive mistake. They assume the customer just isn't interested, but that's usually not true. Most people don't buy because they don't feel an urgent need to buy today. Imagine you own a gym. You have great equipment, friendly trainers, excellent reviews, affordable membership. Someone visits your gym, takes a tour, and even tells you they're impressed. Then they leave and never come back. Was the gym the problem? No, they simply didn't feel enough urgency to start today. They told themselves, "I'll join next month. I'll wait until work becomes less busy. I'll start after the holidays." The customer didn't reject the gym. They postponed the decision. This is what an offer really does. It doesn't just explain what you sell. It answers one question: why should I buy this now instead of later? If your offer can't answer that question, people will delay. And delayed customers often become customers who never come back. Think about two plumbers. The first says, "We fix leaking pipes." The second says, "We'll stop the leak today before it causes thousands of dollars in water damage." They're selling the same service, but one is selling a task. The other is solving an urgent problem. That's the difference between a product and a compelling offer. So how do you know if your offer is the problem? Ask yourself these questions. Do people understand what you sell but keep saying maybe later? Do they compare you with cheaper alternatives because they don't see the difference? Do they think your product would be nice to have instead of something they need to have? If the answer is yes, then your biggest problem isn't visibility. It isn't trust. It's that your offer isn't creating enough value or urgency. Here's how you improve your offer. First, stop selling features and start selling outcomes. People don't buy accounting services, they buy peace of mind. They don't buy security cameras, they buy the feeling that their family is safe. Second, make the cost of doing nothing obvious. Help customers understand what they'll lose by waiting another month or another year. Third, remove as much risk as possible. Guarantees, free trials, clear refund policies, or performance-based pricing make saying yes feel safer. Finally, make your offer specific. The more precise the result, the easier it is for customers to imagine themselves achieving it. By this point, you might be realizing something. Your business probably doesn't have 10 different problems. It likely has one. And until you identify that one problem, every improvement you make to the other parts of your business will produce little or no results. So let's put everything together. Every customer goes through the same 3-step journey. First, they have to discover your business. If they never find you, your problem is distribution. Second, they have to trust your business. If they find you but don't buy, your problem is sales. Third, they have to feel your solution is worth buying today. If they trust you but still delay, your problem is your offer. That's it. Almost every struggling business is leaking customers at one of those 3 stages.
Here's something I've learned about business. Success doesn't usually come from doing more. It comes from fixing the right thing. One broken part can stop an entire business from growing. But once you identify that bottleneck, every improvement you make starts to compound. So don't ask, how can I work harder? Ask, what am I fixing that doesn't actually need fixing? Because the businesses that grow the fastest aren't the ones that work the hardest. They're the ones that diagnose the right problem before they try to solve it. If this video helped you identify what's really holding your business back, hit the like button and subscribe. Because every week, I break down the principles that help entrepreneurs build businesses that actually grow. And I'd love to hear from you. Which of the 3 is your biggest challenge right now? Distribution, sales, or your offer? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.